Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is London Calling, Operation Songbird, Phase 1.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic.
Germany calling, Germany calling. Here are the Reichs in ambush. Station Bremen and Station DXB on the 31-meter band. You are about to hear our news in English.
This is a special broadcast to the people of England. We speak to you tonight from a united continent, where the leadership of the German people and the valor of its champions have torn down the old, rotten order of monarchs and bankers. The British people are not our enemies. It is the imperial gluttons who throttle you as they continue to stand in the way of peace. Germany knows that true brotherhood among the Germanic people can extend across both sides of the channel. So rise up, you proud Anglo-Saxon people. Cast out your royal tyrants, and you shall find yourselves joined, hand in hand, with the architects of the new, prosperous and peaceful Europe. For the true freedom of England, arise.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. I am Josh. I'm going to be your handler, and I'm joined by...
What's good, fam? Matt here. I'll be playing Olaf Wexel, the boat captain, fisherman, and outdoorsman.
This is Devin, and I'll be playing Frederick Fox, British Intelligence.
Hey folks, Dan here, playing Leo Krona, the British burglar.
And this is Jake, playing Emil Adler, the homegrown terrorist.
One man's terrorist.
Freedom fighter.
Yeah. And we are joined by a very special guest coming to your ears from across the pond, good friend of the podcast, our official poet laureate, Liv. Say hello, Liv.
Hello. Do you want me to introduce my character?
Yeah.
So I am playing Evelyn Hartley, and I am a physician working for British Intel.
All right. And one thing that's important, you'll notice that we are doing some accents. They might sound bad to you, but that's because you don't know that in universe, this is how, a British accent or an Irish accent or Swedish accent sounds. So they might not sound accurate, but actually in the universe that we're playing in, maybe your British accent sounds fake.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Agreed.
Could that be the most American thing that you've ever said?
Absolutely.
Like, if you think my British accent sounds bad, you're wrong.
When Josh introduced Liv from across the pond, I thought she was broadcasting from New York.
Perfect.
I don't get it.
Because we're in Europe.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it. The characters.
We cut that.
So Liv, what is your role-playing background? Tell the audience.
Oh, extensive. I've extensively played nothing in tabletop RPGs. I've played computer games, and that's about it. So if you want to discuss Baldur's Gate 3 or maybe some old South Park games, I'm great at those. But you're really popping my cherry here tonight.
The fractured butthole?
Yes.
And you can ask her all about the bear in Baldur's Gate. And that's perfect. This is I think a good game to get into it. The mechanics are simple enough. You have your two 10-sided die over there.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Beautiful.
They're very pretty pastel colors. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Well, one thing before we get going here, we're going to have you guys make your luck rolls. And for you, Liv, you can make your initial luck roll, which is truly a measure of your luck. So roll your percentile dice. The four of these guys are trying to fail. That is how you add to your luck score. Roll. If it's over your luck, you can roll a d10, add it. You can roll, and that will establish your starting luck.
So Of course. Mine's 69, obviously.
Nice.
I rolled a 44. I get max. Right?
Oh, that's 100.
No, I rolled 44.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you only get max on or none on 1 or 100.
Only on 100.
Meaning you'd get 10 luck points, but you succeed. I got a 34 over 24, so roll a d10.
Okay. Tell me.
You're up to 24? Not bad.
10.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow, you're up
Take
to,
that, everyone.
you're up to 34 now, Dan?
Yep.
The die was a
Respectable.
little askew on my
Watch
character
it,
sheet.
Devin.
Jake?
I passed my roll. So
What do you have?
I have 63.
63.
Damn.
Man. Devin?
I rolled, I failed my roll and I rolled 6. So I have 25 luck.
25.
I failed, so I'm at a whopping 19.
Oof. Tough.
Huge.
So yeah, you can write that down anywhere. Liv, there's not a spot on the character sheet for that.
Mhm.
But let's get underway. Where we left off our last episode were some home scenes for these characters. We saw some time pass as you guys were back in UK, returning from your second successful mission, Operation Royal Harvest, when you successfully rescued the Crown Prince of Norway.
Was the first mission really successful?
Technically, Operation Excalibur.
They liked it on paper.
And we'll see what this ends up being. You guys met up with Colonel Tentley, Colonel Benjamin Tentley. He is your main contact in British intelligence. We've been somewhat vague because up until now, you guys weren't really officially under a specific agency or umbrella. You were kind of brought in as kind of contractors almost. But what has occurred now is the SOE, the Special Operations Executive, has officially been formed, and your team has been brought in under that organization. And you're in the brand new offices in the bowels of a building of British intelligence, pass through the security checkpoint, the shiny new sign,
Placard.
the placard inside that said SOE, just as special branch from the exterior door. And Colonel Tentley brought you in, talked a little bit about this new organization, and said that you were going to be meeting with someone. So you were brought through. There's kind of a main room. There's a bunch of people working diligently at desks. You see maps up on the wall. This is through all the security checkpoints, the classic pins getting moved around. There's a large central table, which has a map of Europe, positions of some occupation forces, position of some ongoing operational forces. And you're brought into a side room. And there is one woman in the room when Tentley brings you in. And she looks like what? What do we see for Dr. Evelyn Hartley?
So Evelyn Hartley is slightly taller than average, and she is 30 years old. And what you want to picture is Gillian Anderson in season 5, very specifically of the X-Files, but with brown hair.
Would you say that is that peak Gillian Anderson X-Files hair?
No, it just matches the age. That's purely what I went off.
Season 5, we probably got rid of the bangs by then.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. We're going for like a more sleek bob, but Evelyn would have her hair pinned up very sensibly, brown hair, very lean. Think of someone who very much sees food as fuel, like in the modern day should probably be drinking Huel, like it was a good idea. She's she's that kind of person. She's very lean, very fit, and she's someone who prefers very practical clothing. So she's probably in clothes that are suitable for the time, but she'll be wearing slacks. She'll be wearing kind of smarter clothes, but they'll definitely be practical.
They'd burn her as a witch in America for wearing that.
I know. She's a very modern woman.
Why don't you guys refresh the audience and tell Liv what your characters look like as you walk in? The room is medium-sized, and it's kind of like a little private meeting room. There's a long table running down the center, chairs all around it, and the four of you plus Dr. Hartley and Colonel Tenley are the only ones in there as he shuts the door. Who do we see first?
Frederick Fox walks in. Colonel Frederick Fox. He is I think I described him as sort of not stout, but sort of square, average height. He has this bright red hair that in the with the stress of the missions, you can see little strands and shards of gray around the edges. He is clean shaven. He wears he's very organized. You can tell by just his posture and the way that he carries himself. A nice gray tailored suit, a brown overcoat that he hands to Tentley, and nice shoes, polished brown shoes, brown belt, and a tie.
After him walks in Leo, and Leo, I'm almost certain probably back way at the beginning I used some actor. I don't know which, but I just chose another one now.
They're always very pretty.
Barry Keoghan?
Keoghan.
What is it?
Keoghan.
Keoghan?
See, that's another mistake in this uniform.
To be fair, I don't think how the media pronounce it is right, but everyone says Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan?
But
right.
It's
that
probably
jawline
something
cut
else.
glass. Damn.
I'm going to have to look this up.
He's going to be Tommy Shelby's son in the new movie or show that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, that guy. He's very good.
He's on the younger side, and he's dressed in sort of a three-piece without the tie, and he's got a cap on. He's got polished black boots. He's in fairly practical attire, but well-dressed, and he's got a pocket watch in his vest as well that he's checking as he walks in through the door and takes his seat.
Behind him is Olaf Wexel. He is this is for you, Liv. 183 centimeters and 76 kilos.
You got to put it in stone, bro.
Listen, you got kilos. That's as best I'm doing.
I only know my dog's weight in kilos.
Well, how many dogs is he?
That would be all my dogs added together that I've owned.
This is the new standard for the Ithaca game is how many dogs you weigh.
He is, if you are familiar with rock climbing, he looks like Emil Abrahamsen. Medium length hair, curly. He's got a beard that is like a few days past needing to get trimmed. His hands are very strong and meaty. They have big calluses on them, but you can tell that he's very nimble. As he walks in, he's got a pen in his hand, and he's just kind of like rotating it through his fingers as he takes a seat.
Quick question. Were you asking if we're familiar with rock climbers from the 1940s?
No, he's current.
Oh, he's current. Okay, cool.
He's much better.
Yeah,
He's big.
Much better.
All of our listeners that are that closely follow the rock climbing circuit.
He's not the one.
You never know.
He's not the one that free soloed.
No, that's Alex Honnold.
Okay. Lastly is Emil. Emil is very tall, probably close to 2 meters. And he is unhealthily skinny. You're a doctor, you probably notice immediately that he looks malnourished. He's had a couple months, I think, of decent living with Fox, right? So maybe he's starting to kind of get back to a healthy weight, but he was clearly like just a tall, lanky skeleton. Darker, like tan skin, and his hair is starting to get a bit shaggy. It's definitely not any sort of military regulation. Looks like he probably, it probably went from shaved to like, about a year of growth and has not gotten a haircut. Probably also hasn't shaved in about a week, so he's a little scruffy. Kind of like hawkish, gaunt features. His clothes are, he's actually, you wouldn't know this, but he's wearing clothes that Fox gave him. So he's wearing like a button-down shirt, but it doesn't fit him well because he's a lot bigger than Fox. So he's got the sleeves rolled up. And if he like reaches or like stands up, like, you know, it, like his stomach is like kind of like showing because it's just not long enough. And like, you know, the cuffs of his pants also, like you can see his ankles, like very disheveled.
Wearing capris.
Also with those rolled up sleeves, you can see he has a tattoo on his arm, like a number, which is new. I don't know. That's a very new thing at this point in history.
All right. Colonel Tentley closes the door behind you, kind of points his hands out around the table to take a seat and says, gentlemen, and Colonel Tentley, he's in uniform, a British colonel in his early 40s, and his suit is well pressed, but you can tell from his face that this is a man who has been under stress and lacking sleep. Things right now, it is July 23rd, Wednesday, July 23rd, 1940. And the war is not going well. The failed evacuation from Dunkirk is not too far in the past, less than 2 months before, when the majority of the British Expeditionary Force was captured in France. And bombing has recently started. They're not heavily bombing the city of London, but there are raids on airfields and factories, increasing throughout the previous couple weeks. And it's a grim mood. The country overall is in a grim mood. There is a push led by Lord Halifax as one of the prominent figures who are arguing for a negotiated settlement with the Germans. And in light of the failure of Dunkirk, there's a good degree of agreement on that. Churchill continues to vow to fight on, but things are grim. And he says, gentlemen, this is Dr. Evelyn Hartley. Doctor, thank you. Please have a seat.
Fox sits down and immediately takes out a cigarette.
Dr. Hartley, as we all are, is new to this organization, specifically the SOE, but is not new to British intelligence. She has been doing fine work for some time. She has a bit of a special interest. Before I get to the details of your next assignment, the first thing we'd like to cover is a bit of a debrief with the doctor here. Dr. Hartley has been one of the leading researchers and analysts working on some examples of, well, how would you put it, Dr. Hartley? How would you describe your work on what you fear the Germans are doing?
I have experience in Germany myself before the war, and I have seen some terrible experimentation taking place with my own eyes. Since the war has started, I have been involved in investigating numerous investigations that have involved German technology that we can't explain, that we don't know how they are firing on aircraft. We don't know how they are targeting certain tank squadrons, and we don't know how people are being killed. There are certain anomalies that we cannot explain. We cannot find any evidence for how any of this is happening, and we need some further information from your missions to help try and put this all together.
Colonel Tentley looks down at a stack of folders in front of him. He starts flicking through, opening them up, kind of passing them around the table.
When she said unexplained phenomenon, Leo takes a quick glance at his comrades around the table.
Colonel Tentley says, Dr. Hartley has, well, she's found some holes in some reports and has done some digging, and that's where a lot of this information has come out of. He passes these folders. You're looking down. There's a picture of a pilot, both legs amputated. He's in a hospital bed. And he kind of looks, there's a summaries of an after action report, and there's a lot of hand notes written in. And not that you recognize it, but Dr. Hartley's handwriting. He says, her own experiences have allowed her to have a bit of an insight. And, well, she took a look at some of your debriefs as well. And she feels that there might be some questions to pose to you gentlemen. This British pilot, for example, on some of his descriptions of the action over the skies, had some holes. The good doctor interviewed this gentleman along with some survivors from Dunkirk. These examples, this pilot on interview, claiming that there's a German pilot, they call him, been referred to as the assassin, distinct black Messerschmitt. We believe he has claimed over 50 air-to-air kills. Almost predominantly, these have been the pilots or the crew have been gunned down directly in their cockpits. Precision targeting. This pilot claimed that when facing this German aviator, it was as if he knew the maneuvers the British were making before they began them. He claims that he only survived because as he went into a steep bank, he suffered a hydraulic failure, pitching the aircraft to the side. The shots that would have been killing shots to the cockpit fell along the wing, sending him crashing but surviving. Likewise, next folder, lead British tank regiment was cut to pieces, performing a rearguard action through Belgium. One specific German tank squadron, the lead tank is believed to have destroyed over 60 armored vehicles almost exclusively at night and at ranges far beyond any known optics. Captured and destroyed German tanks have been investigated. Nothing can account for this kind of accuracy.
Has the Crown accounted for turncoats, sabotage?
We've investigated what we can. Dr. Hartley keeps finding these situations and coming back to, well, a lack of explanation. But all of them involve capabilities that we do not understand, that seem to be beyond the realms of possibility. A German commando infiltrated a Belgian fort that was being attacked during the early days of the Western campaign. A solitary commando was the only one that got into the fort. Survivors claimed that dozens were killed in hand-to-hand fighting. Yet we have corroborated evidence that until the fort was breached, all of this killing occurred with one enemy combatant. We have asked you questions during your debrief, some of which perhaps you thought odd. Dr. Hartley feels that perhaps there's some things you'd like to elaborate on that could inform her pursuits and aid what we're trying to get to the bottom of. The Germans are doing something. We don't know what, we don't know how, but anything that you have seen, that you've experienced, would be helpful. He sits back, he takes out a pipe, starts packing it.
No offense, but don't they say one man's magic is another man's science?
Indeed. We're not here to talk about magic.
Leo is looking pretty intently at Emil.
Emil looks at Colonel Tentley and says, "You know about these things."
What I know, I believe, largely has come from Dr. Hartley's research. There's still, for somewhat understandable reasons...
You knew that you were sending us against monsters. And you did not tell us. You gave us no warning.
We know the enemy are monsters. What we don't know is that they had capabilities.
I take the folders and I throw them at him. And I say, you knew. You knew that these men were out there. You knew what you were sending us into. You asked these questions without us telling you anything, so you knew. Adrian is dead because they have these capabilities.
He's intently looks at you, Dr. Hartley. He kind of puts his shoulders back and kind of tries to put on an unperturbed air. He looks at you, Dr. Hartley, and he says, Mr. Adler is referring to their first mission, an operation behind enemy lines in Poland, Operation Excalibur. He pushes a folder over to you. They were recovering some critical items, cultural antiquities, vital to the Polish nation. They were trying to recover these items and successfully did so before they could be taken by a man I believe you have some familiarity with, Dr. Hartley, Baron von Baer. Gentlemen, Baron von Baer, as I discussed when you were briefed, has been, well, for lack of a better word, pillaging much of Europe. Dr. Hartley, what can you say as to his interests and how they resonate inside Nazi Germany? This is a great thing. You bring on a guest and you give them a huge info dump.
And then I just have to go through the email and go, hang on, this person. So, gentlemen, Baron von Baer, who I'm sure you're aware is a Prussian aristocrat, who we do believe has the direct ear of Adolf Hitler and many other prominent Nazis. And he's currently pillaging art and artefacts and important religious, cultural and historical objects throughout occupied Europe. From my point of view, there's also a great deal of advanced scientific research going on into all kinds of different things that are related possibly to these artefacts. It would be very useful to me to know what your understanding of the Baron is and what he was doing and what you witnessed on that mission.
Tenley lights his pipe, looks across the room at the four of you.
I look at Fox.
Fox is looking at, Fox has a small notebook that he pulled out of his jacket pocket, and he's holding it just below like the table line, and he's flipping through these pages. An insignia we saw on a vehicle in the convoy of Baron von Baer, bore an insignia of a special German unit involved in these scientific exploits. It's no secret. When we encountered them in Poland, it was fast, it was loud. As we left, I only heard it from afar. It was the sound of a man breaking apart. A sound that I've heard before in the Great War. As men were burned from the inside, mustard gas. Are you read in on the germ warfare of the Germans in the Great War, Doctor?
I'm aware. I've done research into that.
I was originally under the impression that the Baron was sick, afflicted with some disease, something that caused him to some great pain. After the encounter in Norway, I'm beginning to believe differently. He looks at Emil. I didn't see what happened there, but I saw its effects. Saw a man who looked like someone else, talked like someone else, but had an entirely different bearing, one unfamiliar. That's how I knew. Can't explain it as I heard it, but perhaps someone else could explain it as they saw it.
Colonel Tenley is looking down at a folder. You see it's the operational folder for Operation Royal Harvest, that mission to Norway. And he says, and these are some of the details that are not found in these pages. Mr. Adler, I understand you're upset. But I couldn't tell you these things because we hadn't known them. We continue to not fully understand them, and largely because there's reluctance, it seems, by many of these individuals who have experienced things to be forthcoming about them. I mean,
You know about the Baron. She has a folder on him already.
We know of his interest. We still don't understand why an aristocrat with no military background who seemingly is going after objects of historical, cultural, religious significance has any affiliation with advanced research, science, any military position. These things don't seem to directly add up.
You have a list of what he's stolen.
We certainly can't document it all, but we do know some items that have been taken, yes.
Could you supply me with that?
We can. Do you think, to what means? To what ends?
I've done a fair amount of research on objects of art, and
You see him kind of crack a smile at that, knowing your background.
there may be parallels I can draw. Maybe even figure out what he's after next.
Gentlemen, if you could be so kind, what more can you say about Baron von Bear or what happened in Norway? Specifically to Dr. Hotley's interest.
Gentlemen, if you withhold information, you are further increasing operational risk to operatives in the field. I understand you're upset about what happened to your colleague, but that will keep happening if we do not have as much information as possible. And I'm not asking for speculation, I'm asking for detail. I don't expect you to understand it all, but I need to know what you've seen.
Fox raises his eyebrow, impressed.
Leo lights a cigarette and kind of slouches down in his chair and just kind of glowers over at Emil.
I'll tell you about the thing that I saw, but you let us go after Von Bear. You let Leo find him and send us.
Colonel Tentley nods. He says, that would be a daring operation. But if you're up for it.
I didn't see him. I was out in the field. But the thing that took my face, it wasn't a man. It was a devil. It looked at me like I was just meat. I was just something to take and use and discard. It studied me. And then its face changed. Its bones stretched. It looked like it was in great pain. And when it was done, it looked like me. Then it left. That was the last I saw it.
Colonel Tentley's hand holding the pipe just kind of slowly falls to the table. He's looking at you. He says, "You saw this with your own eyes."
I nod.
He kind of shakes his head, looks at Dr. Hartley. And the rest of you, did any of you have contact with this, the thing?
It was aboard the ship.
And it looked passably like Mr. Adler here.
Just like him.
As far as I'm concerned, I only interacted with Mr. Adler. Kind of blows out another puff of smoke.
Same.
It was different. Emil, save for when he's riled up, is calm. I saw him plant explosives in Poland. He saw men die around him. The Emil on the boat was erratic.
They told me of what happened on the boat. It was not me. I was tied up in a basement while all of this happened.
When we extracted Emil, the Emil that was on the boat fled further into the city. There's no way that he would have made it into the location where we found him in time. I believe it was 2 separate men.
So you never saw them both at the same time?
No. But he was different.
You did. on the dock.
It was dark. I couldn't see.
When we returned to the dock, we saw him directing the soldiers, sending them out after the prince. We were far, but something in my gut just knew that was him. He didn't look like me anymore, but I knew. I think if I saw him again, I would know. I think we are connected.
You can see why we didn't put this in the report. Doesn't really make a lot of sense on paper.
Fox gives a little, kick under the table to Emil when he says that. They're connected.
Colonel looks at Dr. Hartley and he says, well, if this is true, Doctor, I believe this would be the most explicit case that we have uncovered yet. Everything else we have, there's some degree of uncertainty. How many more times, what else has occurred, what has been seen, what the Germans are capable of? We need to know.
Real quick. Baron von Baer, I remember. Something in my brain is telling me we saw him. We did.
You did.
Yeah, we saw him driving towards the castle.
Didn't we see him in the castle?
Yes, you heard him. You don't know what he was doing, but you heard horrific screams. Then as you fled, you saw him come out from a distance.
Didn't he open his mouth and bite someone?
You didn't see what he was doing
Okay.
to anyone. There was one of the survivors that was in the Polish house in the manor described something kind of like that.
Okay.
They were hysterical.
Okay. I'm going to describe in so many words the account of the there was an account of one of the pages at the manor. Now they were distraught, but they described the count opening his mouth like an adder. Couldn't make much of it. Thought it was about a madness. But after Norway, I tend to think more on it. Perhaps just my own isolation has done that to me. I didn't see it. Take it for what it will.
Gentlemen, any further information, any other experiences of this nature that you uncover or encounter on your missions will be directly briefed at this time solely to myself and Dr. Hartley. We need to be able to quantify in some manner these capabilities and experiences that we can better inform. At this point, he kind of puts his hands up. He says, how do you brief this? How do you warn our forces? We need to understand what is happening. As of now, anything that we hear about, anything that doesn't have a conventional explanation, we have to give the benefit of the doubt that these are new capabilities. I personally believe, from what Dr. Hartley's put together in our own research, that it relates to something the Germans call an advanced leadership course. The advanced leadership course. There's no solid evidence for this. We don't know its location. We don't know its purpose. All that we have has been uncovered through espionage, classified personnel documents, people who have been assigned to this course. They vary greatly. Military leaders, some junior ranking NCOs, junior officers, counterintelligence, propaganda ministers, a variety of people within the Nazi regime have been sent to this course. If these capabilities are indeed at an individual level and cannot be verified by physical technology, we have to assume that it is something they are being trained to do. He kind of says that with a question mark. Dr. Hartley, do you have any additional questions on this subject for these gentlemen?
Emil, when you described the man that took your faith, he was described as being more erratic than you, not being like you. Was there anything that people could look out for to suspect that somebody else had taken somebody's faith?
He only took my face, not my mind.
We asked him questions. Questions that Emil should have been able to answer. And he didn't know.
Did he sound like Emil?
Just like him.
Leo's nodding.
Fox is getting more uncomfortable as the questioning goes on.
I'm not sure, but I think I had talked to him earlier with a different face. I think he pretended to be the bartender.
Tell our operatives, never be alone.
We spoke briefly in a dark alley, and I got a bad feeling from him. It seemed like he didn't know what to ask me. Didn't know things he maybe should know. I don't think it can take a mind, just a face. Maybe a voice, but not memories.
Comes to me that it might be useful if we're sending teams out that might encounter these things. He raises an eyebrow when he says that.
Devils.
Yeah. That maybe there's a word shared, or each individual has something that only they know, that someone can ask them to confirm that they are who they are. Might be an easy way.
Colonel says, we can put something together that leaves out some of the details, but provides the prerequisite warning, I think, to summarize your point.
Call it a German espionage program with sophisticated disguises, perhaps.
If this is something their operatives are capable of, we are truly up against it. Which brings me to your current assignment. We all want to get our teams back out there, to get them behind enemy lines, to get them punching where we can hurt the Nazis. But right now our concerns are most specifically at home. We know there are German spies operating in the UK. Some have been caught. We've been having a difficult time infiltrating most of these rings. We'd like to assign the four of you, as well as Dr. Hartley, to looking into a German spy operation we believe is happening within London. We believed we had a promising lead. An individual contacted us, a man by the name of Max Ortmann, German-born, living in London for the last 15 years. He contacted us and said that he had been approached by German spies who had tried to get him to collect information. He seems to be willing to perhaps aid our counterintelligence efforts, but he did not show up for a requested meeting. We don't know what or who these German spies are, and if this capability is with them, then it will be truly difficult to locate them. One thing that we have had, naval intelligence and comms have been working on some issues with radio broadcasts. The Germans, we believe this cell individual network is broadcasting directly from London. It seems this team has been working at this for some weeks. They have managed to triangulate the last several transmissions. They are encoded. It is a somewhat basic code. We have cracked most of it. information has been passed with specifics on military locations, aircraft readiness, technological capabilities of some of our platforms and aircraft.
Heil bloody Hitler.
The 3 locations, he passes a sheet, 3 different locations throughout London. You can take a look at them yourself, but none of them seem to have come from a structure. The frequency that they were broadcasted on, the texts tell me, is something called VLF, very low frequency. This is a long radio wave. Can potentially reach thousands of kilometers. Ordinarily, transmitter and antenna would need to be quite sizable. Nothing that can be set up or broken down quickly. At 23.4 kilohertz. We believe simply that they have some sort of breakthrough of technology. But if these assets, these operatives also have additional capabilities, some things that we're concerned with, then we want you to get to the bottom of it. We want you to find them, discover what you can, and make sure these broadcasts cease. I'll give you the location of the broadcasts that we've located, as well as the address of Mr. Ortman. He owns a couple fine custom high-end machine shops. He's actually been recently producing parts for the war effort. We don't have a lot of information yet to go on, but what questions do you have?
How long has he been missing?
The planned meeting was yesterday. I have made sure that no one has made efforts to contact him. You will be the first.
Colonel, do you want this technology recovered in good order?
Optimally, yes. We want to understand if we can capture whatever equipment they're using. And additionally, be on the lookout for anything that can enhance our understanding as to what these individuals are capable of.
We'll need a team of technicians on call.
Any technical support you need can be arranged through this office.
They're capable of anything. These monsters that we fight, they have no value. They have no problem killing, slaughtering innocents. They'll do whatever they need to. Whatever stands in their way, they will destroy. So my question for you, we work at home in our own city. May we do what must be done.
Our goal is to protect the British Empire and all of her peoples. Do what you must, but remember, we are here to win this war, to keep our people fighting. And right now, we need victories.
That might come at a cost.
Does
Are you asking to blow up large sections?
I'm saying I may blow up part of England.
does he have family?
He's not married. We don't know. We don't have a file on him. But from my understanding, he lives alone.
If we find these spies, do we act on this alone, or do we inform you and you send in soldiers?
Whatever assets you need will be at your disposal. But understand that most of the personnel that could potentially be supporting you are not going to have the same personal experiences or be read into, well, Dr. Hartley's research, for example. If you can take them yourself, do so. If you feel that it's connected to a larger cell, then we'll work from there.
Unlikely that a group of bobbies with batons are going to help us, but they might be able to cause a stir, let us move around. We have resources here in London.
I get up like I'm ready to leave.
Right now, I know we want to put crosshairs on Baron von Baer, a number of other individuals, but we need to keep this nation fighting. Comrades in the RAF are up against it. The intel that is coming out of these radio broadcasts is immensely helping the Luftwaffe in their targeting of airfields, repair facilities, factories. They seem to have quite a bit of information on squadron readiness and other intelligence.
While we're working on this, you send me that list, will you, old boy?
I'll have it put together.
Leo nods, pushes his chair out.
He gives Fox the... it's a small folder. There's not much in it. Kind of basically a summary of the information, map plots of the positions, some technical information on the radio broadcasts, and the information for Mr. Ortman.
I briefly look over it and then close the folder. He's going to wait for as people fly out of the room until it's just he wants to get Tentley alone for a moment.
Okay.
I think Emil leaves. Like, we're done here.
Okay. Dr. Hartley, do you exit with them?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Okay.
Colonel.
He's kind of standing at the door. He'd opened it as everyone was filing out.
This war is... There's more than one front to this war, Colonel.
Indeed.
There's a battle being fought here at home in London. The people don't know that they're fighting it, but they're fighting it. I'd like you to look into someone for me.
Yes, and who's that?
George Kroll, industrialist, member of the British Union of Fascists.
Yes, the name is familiar.
Look into his financials. Do not engage with anyone. I have a small project I'm working on.
Yes, what you've been working on up north, yeah?
He nods.
Very well. I'll have that put together along with Mr. Kroner's request.
One more thing. Are we certain of the doctor's loyalty to king and country?
Quite certain.
That's all I need. Thank you, Colonel.
You're not wrong, Colonel. There is more than one front being fought. There's more than one front being fought here at home. Some of them are in the House of Commons. We need victories, Colonel. We need to keep the public behind this fight.
I want to keep this one quiet. If we can... Disrupting this broadcast is one thing. If we were able to turn it on them, it could give us an advantage.
You have command of this mission, and you have discretion. You understand the objective. And I will allow you to make a choice as to what success best looks like when you understand it better.
He's thinking about this. He looks down at that little notebook. He's sort of shaking it in his hand.
That's your little personal notebook?
My little personal notebook.
Your little black book?
At the advice of Victor Lloyd.
All right. He shakes your hand, and the five of you exit, and you're kind of standing there in the heart of the SOE, this new organization. And what do you guys want to do?
How are the bathrooms, Emil?
Good.
Do we have like a radio control center in the SOE?
Yeah.
Could we make our way there?
Sure.
As we sort of fall in line, I'm following Fox. He pulls out a slim cigarette case and he offers one to you, Dr. Hartley.
She takes it.
Everybody smokes. It's 1940.
It's healthy.
He lights it for you and
Calms the nerves.
he lights one for himself and he says, "So what do you expect we'll find, Doctor? The devil?"
I'm not one to subscribe to devils and demons and gods. There's some advanced scientific work going on here that I cannot explain, but I refuse to give in to the idea that it's demons.
Science, then. Well, I suppose whatever helps you sleep at night.
Have you encountered any of these things? Or you read them all in your folders?
I've encountered them from a investigation perspective. I have conducted autopsies. I've been to the scenes, but I've not been in the field thus far.
Do you have a firearm?
I do.
Tentley said you were in Germany.
I was on
Is that true?
on exchange, yes, medical exchange. Prior to the war. I saw some pretty awful experiments taking place on a variety of people, but Jewish people, homosexuals. I don't like to say that word, but that's the word at the time.
Leo kind of sticks his thumb back over his shoulder and he says, "Yeah, I think Emil went through some of that."
How could you see that place, Doctor, and not believe in devils?
Because I believe that they believe in the devil, but I think they're wrong. I think there is a scientific explanation for everything. And if we just assign it to devils and demons and gods, then we never get to the bottom of it.
I hope you can keep thinking that. I pray for you. I'll pray that you can keep thinking that and that you never stare it in the face.
And I'll keep researching it so that we don't have to keep staring it in the face.
Fox, can you find this radio frequency?
Yeah, he's sort of he cajoled a little bit with one of the radio technicians.
Sure, you get brought in. You're official in these parts, so
Yeah.
you guys have full access.
I say to Dr. Hartley, I say, Fox knows everything about radios. He'll find them.
I was a technician in the Great War.
Leo leans up against the door, kind of posts up,
Okay.
lets Fox do his thing.
Yeah, they have a variety of radio equipment here. Antennas up on the roof, and a lot of the transmitters and receivers and different. There's a whole room that's basically like a cryptography and radio room.
He's trying to find that frequency, that 23.4 kilohertz. Do we have radios that can detect those low wave?
Yes, not many.
Okay.
There's one here that does. These are not. This is not a common frequency. So real world, these type of frequencies are used to communicate with submarines because it's like this big, long, low wavelength that
It's like
can
the
actually
microwave of
penetrate water.
radio.
It can range thousands of miles. There was some transatlantic radios of the time use this frequency range, but they are not common. And again, generally, the antenna and transmitters need to be sizable.
Yeah.
Emil asks, he says, Colonel Tentley said it could not be handheld. Does it draw too much power?
There are a lot of constraints on radio. Size of the frequency and the circumference of the Jeffries tube, of course.
So could this be on a...
Isn't that from Star Trek?
Yeah, it's technobabble. I don't know shit about this.
Could this be on a truck? That's how they're
Maybe.
moving it around?
But to transmit, they need a power source. Not difficult to find in London, I suppose. Still London. Grease the right palms, you can get access to almost anything. You know, most of our technology, especially on this side of things, we got it from the Germans. It was always a tug of war between Britain, France, Germany, as to who had the superior technology in the Great War. We took a lot from them.
Is there anything that they would need to, if they made this here, if this is some huge piece of equipment, they could not have smuggled it in. Is there something that maybe would be used that we could track down? Something unique? This Jeffries tube thing?
Likely made by a specialty machinist, I suppose. Yeah. This frequency, monitor it. Any traffic, report it to Tentley immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. You also see on the technical specs that the transmission was about 1 megawatt.
Which is significant.
Very significant. That's like commercial level power.
They're using a large power source.
Dan, you're an electrical
I'm an actual-
dabbler.
Yeah.
How much?
So, I mean, to put that in context, most homes, like a common residential home, uses between 10 and 12 megawatts a year. So that's like a 1 month's worth of power in a modern home. That's a lot of power.
Damn.
Unusual for even this low frequency transmission to be using this much power.
These 3 locations, do they have the utility for this?
No, but no.
This level of power is beyond the contemporary battery capabilities. Like no batteries that exist in 1940
Yep.
could generate this.
It's like a power station or something.
Yeah.
This triangulation
the
here is
Tesseract.
just where the frequencies had bounced off radio towers before.
The 3 locations are Hampstead Heath, Highgate, and Shooters Hill. They are in different parts of London. Hampstead Heath is basically a public park, kind of green space.
So, Josh, just to be clear, someone else has already figured out that these 3 locations are where the signals came from. Like
The most recent, they basically have
haven't
been
pinpointed it, but they've kind of narrowed it down to these areas.
that a transmission was confirmed at each of these 3 locations. One
Okay.
each.
Can you say the Hampstead Heath, Shooters Hill, and what was the third?
Highgate? And there's you have a more specific coordinate, but that's the general location.
When he's kind of in the radio room, Leo looks at those 3 spots, and you had described when we walked in, there were a lot of maps here and
Yep.
things like that. He wanders around until he can find a map of London
Okay.
and has a look at those 3 spots on the map.
Do you have any, what stuff would make you good at maps? Navigate?
Yeah.
Military science land.
Well, it's not a military thing.
We are the military, son.
I think anybody with a baseline in either of those that is proficient at looking at maps.
I'll try navigate just so I can raise it after I fail.
I won't make it, won't have you roll on this one.
I'm gonna say
I could help you.
But I might.
Olaf has
what,
a 50. In
What I'm
navigate.
saying is,
I
when
have
I
a
fail, I
70.
might bring one of them over to help me.
Okay.
You're also a local.
Sure. Give a roll.
Crit fail.
Oh.
I'm not actually looking at a map of London.
Okay.
Yep. 66 over 10.
You're looking at a map of the underground, and you can't figure out why.
That's
like,
a
these
fast
places-
food wrapper.
Yep. He after kind of looking at a few different maps, he looks at one, can't really get his bearings, looks at another. He kind of gives up, and as he's walking back over to the group, he'll say, "Doctor, are you a Londoner?"
I've lived in London for the last few years. I'm not natively from London, though.
Well, I don't think either of these two are either. But these 3 spots, there's a map over there. Someone might want to have a look, see if anything makes sense. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Anybody else want to take a crack?
I say I'm going to find a road map of this area, see if this is some sort of truck or something, if it could get to all 3 of these places.
Dan, are you not a Londoner with that accent?
No,
Okay.
but he's from the area. But he's also completely failed to be able to find anything on a London map.
I get
was-
that, but Hampstead Heath.
He
come on.
is a bit of a Londoner. Yeah.
I think that was kind of a compliment here. This fucking guy.
Which is weird. Like the one English accent I should probably be good at is a Bristolian accent because all my family are.
That's
are
a hard one,
Bristolians.
though.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Bristolian
Yeah.
from Bristol? That's a ludicrous.
Aren't we all Bristolians?
I live
We're
in
Bristol
Bristol.
County, right?
Yeah, we're Bristolians.
I'm a masshole.
Anybody else taking a look at the map that wants to take a roll?
I think Olaf might assist Emil if
Okay.
possible, but he's not. This is his first time in London, so it's gonna.
Give it a navigate roll.
Josh, I have a pretty significant signal intelligence.
Mhm.
I was wondering if I could maybe, not even looking at like the geographical map, but, maybe I got technical schematics for like transmitters at these sites and seeing if there's anything special about them that makes them suitable for someone trying to do this, broadcast. and if maybe we can predict where the other sites are that could produce this frequency.
Okay. We'll say, you guys kind of all gather around the map and people are kind of asking different questions, pitching in different things. Collectively, I'll give you a couple things as a baseline. And also, Liv, just for your awareness, if I ask you to make a roll at any time and you fail the roll, you can put a little check mark on that skill in case we see Evelyn again in the future. Basically, after a mission in Delta Green, when you do your home scenes, you also roll to improve any skill you failed. So it's just one time. You either check it or you don't. So once you have it checked for one failure, then that's all you can kind of get.
There's a raccoon over in the corner.
Fucking
Crinkles.
I have a child. I'm sorry.
What does that mean?
Can't just use that for
Default
everything.
excuse now.
Jake, he has 2 children and he's not fucking Crinkle McGee over here.
My kid is teething. And I've been looking after him every single day and night for the past week.
Oh, God.
Don't feel bad for him.
When we take a break, I'm smoking a joint,
That
by the way.
was that was sarcasm, but okay.
One thing that you kind of put together, these 3 spots are all higher elevation. Obviously, London is not necessarily known as a city of hills, but all 3 of these locations are over 100 meters above sea level. They are specifically Hampstead Heath. It would be very odd, that specific coordinate, like you plot it out, and it's basically in the middle of a field. So a truck out there would be very odd. The other 2 locations, you could get a truck pretty close.
I mean, if they did it at night, it would be without headlights on. They could maybe have accomplished it.
Yeah.
But
We cross-reference layout of like the power grid. Are there any large power sources near any of those sites?
No. Like none of these are, they're all accessible. Publicly accessible.
What time did these transmissions happen?
They all happen during the day.
never mind.
You see, Fox's brain is working as he's going back and forth between these different maps of the area with the, a technical layout, a geographical layout, power grid, stuff like that.
Specifically, 2 of them were right around 10 a.m. and one was 3 p.m. Fairly on the dot in all 3 cases.
I don't know how you do this in 1941, but I want to check the weather.
Oh.
It was raining, right? I mean, can I assume it was raining and foggy?
Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, it's July, isn't it? July 23rd.
It is. It is.
When did these happen?
These transmissions?
Yeah.
All within the last week and a half, these 3.
Whoever points out the elevation, Leo's follow-up question is, are there any other locations at that elevation or higher?
I'm sure we can get a topographical map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably that, maybe you see some indication on the map and you go for a topographical map to get a little bit more details on that. And there's about 20 spots in London that have an elevation
20?
over
That's rude.
100 meters.
Did you do your research? Are you sure?
Can we narrow that down by easily accessible?
Yeah. I mean, that would take some work, take some doing. So, I mean, somebody could dig into that if you wanted. Somebody could kind of plot these out, look into what each location is. Some of them, you could visit them, or we can kind of just do a map study.
Are any of these spots, like, I know you said one was like kind of remote off the road. Are they all fairly remote? Like, would there be people around to see something weird happening?
2 of them, you would think yes, especially given that time of day. And even Hampstead Heath, which is a park, that transmission was actually the most recent. It was on Sunday at 10 in the morning. It was good weather that day. You remember this was 3 days ago, so you don't even have to kind of look it up. The others you get historical information for, if you call last week historic, whatever, meteorological information. But yes, specifically Sunday, it was a nice sunny day. And there definitely would have been people around.
How long would it take to send one of these frequencies?
The transmissions specifically all lasted between 1 and 2 minutes.
I say we go look at these sites, go to the park, see if there's any people that live there.
We do need to keep in mind that we have to find this Max Ortman.
Can we go to his house?
Yeah, any one of these sites near where he lives?
One of them is not that far. His home is to the east, the east part of London. I think I wrote down the Deptford. That's not right, Liv?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm no London
Make our way to
expert,
Deptford.
but Deptford.
I play one on a podcast. Let's make our way to Deptford. See Mr. Ortman's house, and then we can check out here, one of the transmission sites, get a better look at what maybe these people are looking for. We got about 20 sites, high elevation. We can narrow it down by publicly accessible. These transmissions last about 1 to 2 minutes each. Now, not all of these locations are near major power sources. They must have something with them. Perhaps they're able to send these broadcasts with a low power source. I won't know until we get our hands on it. All we can do now is predict.
I mean, if the Germans have all this technology, could they not just have a new battery or some power source that we don't know? Or even antenna size?
Fox is nodding.
Oh, very confusing.
It's not technology.
The Germans are always working on energy and how to harness as much energy as possible from new ways of doing it. So I wouldn't rule it out.
I think the captain's point is a good one, though. Yeah, we look for normal means, a truck with an antenna or what have you, but we can't rule out the inexplainable. Let's go find Max.
Fox, you don't think a truck should be able to provide enough power?
That's what he's wrestling with, is the short amount of time that these transmissions are happening in. The fact that they're in public during the day. He's trying to wrap his head around it. He especially with radio stuff, he's inclined to think it's technological, whatever is happening. So yeah, you can tell his sort of his brow is furrowed. He's just chain smoking cigarettes as he's chewing on all this information, he's trying to get ahead of this. Especially this is his specialty. So his thing was, he was a radio technician in the Great War, and he feels like this is something he should know about. And then added with the distress of the interview and hearing Emil's account again, he's, just getting slowly but surely more irritable.
All right. You guys requisition a vehicle maybe and make your way over to Deptford, to the address you were given for Max Ortman. It's about midday when you get there. You get to the address, and it's a 2.5-story brick building and good sized. And looks like the first story is a machine shop. So it's kind of a mixed use building. It looks like possibly the residence is on the top, but as you get there, you can tell that it's occupied. The first floor there, you see a couple people loading some stuff off a truck, bringing it into the building, and shut the garage doors. You saw like metal cutting and milling and sparks inside before they shut the door. And a sign on the front says, Ortman's Machining.
And by first floor, you mean ground floor, right?
Ground floor.
So shit. Well, in this universe,
That's right.
No, sorry. Yes, the ground floor is the second floor the first floor. What do you people call it?
Yeah,
over
the
there?
first floor is like the next floor up.
Then
Next floor up.
the next floor up.
Ground floor, first floor.
Um,
I don't know what a 2.5 story block is, building is, but you know.
It's like peaked, so there's like an attic, basically.
Okay.
Is there like a loading dock to it?
There's not a loading dock. There's like a garage door.
Okay.
Facing the street. They had a truck stopped, unloaded some stuff from the truck. Truck drove
There's
off.
a couple employees.
Yep.
As we're standing there, I'm kind of just thinking, and I say, "How much power? How much power?
He's eating chips.
Quite a lot.
Could a bolt of lightning be enough?"
If you can capture such a thing.
Sorry, he's eating crisps.
Oh, nice.
He has in his hand he has a suitcase, and you know that it's his radio. He says 50 years ago, such a thing as this would be impossible. They tell you it requires too much power. In a short amount of time, they were able to put it in a case, one you could carry. It's possible that whoever this is has found the next step in radio technology. That's what I'm operating on.
There is, the Germans are regarded to have somewhat of an edge in radio technology at this time. So
They did in the Great War too, until we caught on.
but this is also what you're talking about. If it was able to be in a small man portable thing, that would be
Immense.
not a development. That would be a crazy breakthrough.
What now?
We go inside, have a look around.
Josh, I don't think so, but does our military position now give us any sort of authority out in the world?
We are British colonial administration.
Yes, you
Colonial, yeah.
Dr. Hartley, you know that these four are on paper to the public. They are assigned to the Office of Colonial Administration, the liaison office to British intelligence. It's sort of a kind of vacuous, bureaucratic, potentially important, but also potentially kind of mundane position. In that role, no, you know that if you had to procure some kind of credentials, police credentials or something like that, you could probably get that through the SOE. But as of now,
Sure. I would like to do a little retcon flashback type thing. Before we left the SOE, could we have had someone send word that envoys from the colonial administration were coming by to try and establish procurement for one of our colonial projects to build
to this office?
Yes, to the machine shop.
Okay.
So they would know that we're coming and that we're shopping.
Okay.
And then I'll give a little rap on the loading door, one that just closed.
Okay. There's a man-sized door next to it.
Okay. Yeah. Knock, knock, knock.
It's a pretty secure steel door. It opens after a couple minutes. You hear some heavy-duty locks getting pulled back, and there's a man there in kind of dungarees, work clothes. He's got a welding helmet pushed up on his head.
Say, Frederick Fox, Colonial Administration. We are expected.
Oh, yeah, all right. Tom Lynch, come on in.
Cheers, Tom.
He kind of he's cleaning off his hands. He shakes yours. He looks around. He says, "Oh, big group."
Aye, we're on shore leave from a assignment.
Ma'am. Nods to you. He says, "Well, what can I do for you?" You step in, and it's mostly open. There's a couple offices off the side. There's storerooms, but most of this is an open machine shop. There's all sort of metal fabrication, things like that. There's about half a dozen people working in here, but he kind of, sort of looks over to you. You're standing in front of the, just inside the doorway.
Well, we were told we could have a look around. We're looking for a new manufacturer for some specialty pieces. We were told to speak to Mr. Altman.
Yeah, I rang upstairs, but he hasn't been by the shop the last couple of days.
And he has a flat upstairs.
That's right. Being said, I mean, we just got this contract making the parts for the Spitfires. I didn't think you'd be shifting off so soon. We're quite proud of him.
I'm sure they're just fine. What we're looking for is a little bit more specialty. We were assured that we could speak to Mr. Altman.
You can try him again. I gave a call up. He didn't answer.
I
obliged.
say to Leo, maybe a little loud, I say, why are we lying to this man? Why don't we just ask him?
Leo shrugs. And Leo, did he see a secondary entrance
Yes, there's another entrance that goes to the second floor.
on the outside of the building?
Yes.
Leo steps out kind of behind the conversation that they're having. He steps back outside.
Yeah, he's talking to Fox. He says, I should ask you for credentials if you don't mind. Mr. Altman, he said we got to be pretty diligent. We're working for the Crown now.
Fox flashes his badge.
And he starts talking about it, we are, pretty high-end machining. So some of the pieces for the Spitfire we're making, these things can't be just cranked out of a factory. But Mr. Altman put in the bid and we got it. And he gives you a little tour around. They're, like I said, making replacement parts, like specific, pretty expensive custom stuff for Spitfires.
Are the three of you following him around? Or
I
did
probably just wander around the factory on my own.
Yeah.
Leo,
I think if Olaf sees Leo leave, he'll probably follow you outside.
he takes the cigarette out of his mouth and he hands it to you, and he pulls out a leather bifold from his breast pocket, and it's his lock picking set.
Okay.
And he takes a cursory look around and tries the door to
Okay. It's locked.
he's going to try to pick it.
Okay.
Olaf's keeping an eye out.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. The door at the bottom is unlocked.
Okay.
You go in, it goes directly to a staircase. There's a door at the top of the stairs.
I'm saving this roll for the door at the
that
top
is
of the stairs. I got a 15 under 42.
Okay. So Leo and Olaf are going up there. Fox is talking to the foreman. Emil's
I'm keeping him very
wandering
occupied.
around.
I'm wandering around looking to see if anything looks, not as it seems.
Okay. And Dr. Hartley, what are you doing?
Dr. Hartley is going to feign being a little bit too hot in that workshop, a little bit too overwhelmed, and is just going to make her excuses and just step outside.
Okay.
She's got the vapors.
Yeah.
All these rugged men working on machines.
It's way too blue collar in here. You gotta get out.
All right. Do you go in? You see Leo and Olaf going up the stairs.
Yeah, she's well aware what they're doing, and she's going to follow them. She's not
Okay.
going to be discreet about it. She just makes an excuse to leave.
Gotcha. All right. And success on your roll, Dan?
Yeah, 15 under 42.
Okay. You pick the lock. There's a a key lock above the doorknob, and you open the door, and you immediately tell that this door had a deadbolt as well, and the deadbolt has been broken away.
He looks over at the captain and then looks like down a stair or two at the doctor, and he puts a finger to his lips and he reaches inside of his suit jacket again, and he pulls out a gun this time.
And you smell something when the door opens. You smell death.
He pushes the door slowly open. And he takes his handkerchief out of his suit pocket and he holds it over his nose and mouth. And he goes in with the gun kind of at his side.
Okay. You go in, kind of go through like a little cloakroom, and you get into the front parlor, and the smell gets stronger, and you immediately come upon a body. It's face down on the ground. There's a little bit of the head is in carpet, and there's a little bit of blood pooled around the head, and smells like it's been dead for a day or two, maybe. You're not sure.
Leo does a quick scan around the room, probably doesn't see anything immediately dangerous. He walks over to a window, puts the gun kind of back in its holster, and opens the window to let some air in.
Okay.
Olaf will make his way
And
over to the
I
body.
come in and go, what are you doing? Don't touch it.
Contaminating the crime scene. If you're Scully, we need an autopsy scene.
Are you Mulder because you believe in crazy shit?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you do, Dr. Hartley?
As soon as that door opens, I smell that smell, even though I'm not up those stairs. So I quickly go up the stairs. To be honest, with little regard for her own safety, she's not really thinking about whether there's anyone in there or not. And she goes straight to that room, sees the body, and shouts at Leo for opening the window. And then immediately tells people to stop touching anything. And she gets her little bag out and starts making some notes initially, but just from what she's initially seen.
Okay.
You hear Leo muttering about how bad it smells.
She hands you some like smelling salts or something to, I don't know, clear your nose.
Somebody maybe turns on a light, and you, as you're bending down, Dr. Hartley, and getting stuff out of your bag, you see the head is kind of half turned. And so you get the first clear look at the face. And what you see looks like blood coming from the mouth, nose, ears, eyes. The eyes are open, and they're both almost blood red. Every blood vessel in the eye is ruptured. And the forehead is blackened. There's bits of hair burnt away, bubbling blisters all over the forehead, going back into the hairline. And the skin is actually burned back to reveal skull, charred and cracked. And that's where we'll wrap it up.
Brutal, dude.
I think I know what's going on.
He probably just had a
Ark of
heart
the
attack
Covenant.
or something.
Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, he just had a heart attack.
Thank you guys again for listening to the Nastygram RPG podcast for our London Calling Arc. Our intro music, as always, is Walking with Michael Douglas by Wilhelm Scream. The Arc theme is Dark Ritual by Adrian von Ziegler. All scores by Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Martikainen. A very special thanks to David for his collaboration, translation, and recording of our cool little newsreel segments of the Zwei wie Wolf, die besten Spielleiter der Welt, 2D12, the best game masters in the world, a fantastic German language podcast about game mastering tabletop RPGs. Absolutely check it out if you speak German, and if not, take a listen, maybe learn, and at least give them a little bump. If you like what we do, we hope you consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/nastygram. You get access to all sorts of cool bonus content, special members only feed, Discord, and lots of other cool features. Find us on most socials, searching Nastygram RPG, and to scratch your sword and sorcery itch, subscribe to the Nastygram D&D podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
That's nasty.
Are you okay, sir?
Hello?
Huh?
Do you need medical assistance?
No, I just parked in the parking garage.
Where are you?
Yeah. I'm in the parking garage, the Elm Street parking garage.
Sorry, dude. We should have let you know it snowed this week, and you might want to give yourself a little extra time to get here.
No, I did. I had to wait. I had to wait until my mom got here for the baby, and then
the baby card.
Sixth Street was closed, so I had to do like a whole.
I bet he doesn't even have a baby.
It was a bump.
I've never seen it.
Do you want to see my baby?
No, it's fine. We don't have it. We don't have any. We don't have any important guests waiting or anything.
Okay.
Do you want me to come pick you up?
Waiting, but
Do you want me to send you an Uber?
No, because it'll take longer. It'll take longer.
Okay.
Listen, Dan, I'm going to send you a picture of my kid in the bath, and then I'm going to call the police on
That's illegal. We'll see you when you get here.
Great.
All right, I'm walking out of the garage right now. I'll be there shortly.
Okay. Excellent. Perfect.
Perfect.
Devin, I heard you were very excited to have Liv on.
Yes.
How excited would you have to be here on time? Motherfucker, this guy.
I mean, it's like a raccoon.
Chips,
Yep.
of all things.
They're in the far corner of the room.